Good morning, solar YouTubers, and there's the start of the show. Should we get kissies? Want to get kissies today? You get kissies? There you guys go. You guys got kissies. All right. So I ran pretty good last night. I got solar coming in. 60 volts is what I need, and that's what it looks like. Now I got the beeps off. I found a setting to turn off the beeps. That's the battery. And so far, you see the solar panel here. It's running the load with the inverter, and it's not charging battery or nothing yet because this battery light's not charging, not flashing. So at some point in time, this battery needs charge. So yeah, this was charging. So last night I was playing with some settings, and I did something. And up in here I had a 19 flash with a warning sign type deal. Looked it up, and I had a 19. I don't remember offhand what 19 was. 19 was the inverter current offset is too high. So I changed some settings. I went in and changed the when the battery gets charged type thing, and changed the chemistry. It changed. I turned it on to equalization. I did all kinds of. Instead of doing one change, I let it set for a little bit and then do another change. I did like 18 at one time. So it was flashing. It wasn't doing anything. So I'm like, oh hell! So finally got the app to run in the phone. So finally figured that out. That was a learning experience to say that. So I went in and reset everything, all my changes are reset. I had to go back in, and on here, this is a real good instruction. I mean, I pretty for a cheap all-in-one. I am really impressed. So I had to go back in here into setting one. I had to change it back to the SBU, and that is the solar first, battery second, and then utility. That's to run the inverter, to run the load. All right. Then I had to go back and change setting 5, battery type, because it comes to this AG, whatever that is, the gel. So I had to go down here to LIB, I don't know what that looked like, 6 or something, I don't know. But that's the lib, and that is with the non-communication. So if I get a server battery, that's what I really want, a server battery. I can put a few up right here, stack them up, and get a server battery in here. And then when it's communication, it would be right here. That'd be a lib 4. And that's what I was doing. So I went into on the phone. You can change the battery type on with the app. Get into the system. So you had Li1, Li2, Li3, and Li4. So I changed it to Li4, and I mean it was just causing all kinds of issues. And I'm not sure if that's what the issue was, the Li4, because I did other changes. So in the future, if you do changes, just do one and just let it set for a little bit, see what it does. Because I did a couple, and I couldn't tell you, but I think the battery type I changed to 4. That's with the communication. It don't have to be the non-communication. It just got Li 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, yeah, it doesn't tell you, it doesn't give you this kind of stuff. And then I also went in and changed I did these two changes here, setting 11 and 12 and 13. And I messed with those numbers. I messed with this number here, 12. And yeah, I changed it up to like 20. The highest this goes is 27. 27.4 or something. And I just did that, and so it just messed everything up. But one thing I did notice, this is the second night of running it. The first night I ran it, I never heard the kick in. It was maintaining 26.4, 26.1 in that area. Never heard the inverter kick on. Never saw it charging. But when I reset everything, because I messed some settings up, it started coming on charging up to 27 volts, 27.4 or 5, somewhere in there. And then last night when I got to go to the bathroom, it was actually charging. So when it's charging, it does a bypass. It says bypass up there. And then the grid, you see that little grid, it's going to go to the battery into the load. So right now this is just going straight to the load. If I turn the load off with the switch, load's turned off, and you see it charging. You see the light charging, but the solid is the inverter. You hear the inverter kick up? Okay, and that's what the inverter was doing last night. It was doing that. So there's not enough solar to charge, so it's kicking in. If I turn it back on, so it goes. Now that's a bypass form. So the battery is no longer charging the load. Solar panels utility is charging the battery, bypassing the battery, goes straight into the grid. So the fans did kick up a little bit, but solar and the grid is going into charging the battery. But the load is running off the grid. And then you tell my grid power, that comes straight off the box. I have that's my refrigerator, and that's just that there, and that's what's hooked up to that. That's what I put my fans on. And both of those was 15 amp protected, so 15 amps it throws. And this is only a 20 amp unit because you take 3,000 divided by 120, and that's an amperage. So, yep, solid green light is when it's the grid. Blinking, it's the for the inverter. So the inverter is being run straight off the grid. So sorry about that. It's charging up. There you go, solid green. And load is 0% because the refrigerator is probably not on. 840 watts is going into the battery at 30 amps. I only got 22 watts coming in from the solar. No amps in from the solar. About 62 volts. And look out there, I got 71 coming in. 71 volts, so there we go. I picked it up a little bit. So it's a few volts off. Well, no, it's 80 there, so yeah, whatever. That's my AC. So there it is, guys. So I had to mess with some settings, screwed some stuff up. I think I screwed up the number 12. I did something there. And you hear the fans? No, I mean, I like loud fans. Fans, I mean, I'm just totally different from most people. I like the constant noise. I hate sitting in quiet. Quiet it just drives me crazy. I gotta have noise. So there's a lot of times I have fans just running just for the noise. And that's why I sleep. When I sleep, don't necessarily need a fan on me. Like in the wintertime, my bedroom's freezing. I have a heated blanket on, and I got fans on, but they're blowing away from me. You just gotta have the noise. And my computer fans, the fans in my computer, I got them turned up on performance. I gotta hear that noise. Just a hum. I just been like it my whole life, and I just can't sit in quiet. So in my house, I always got something running, something's making noise. That's just weird stuff, but that's all right. But that's it. It's so far, I'm pretty impressed, and I might later put a tie here, tie these to the. I might do that. Go down to Menards, give me some wire ties, and just screw it into this. So this is secure. Right now, I mean, I can yank on this and they come out. But like I said in another video, there's a guy who over in Ireland, I want to say, who had one of these. He had the small version, the 3,500 watt unit. He said it runs fine, no deal. So he got the 5,000 watt unit, and it didn't come with the lugs. It came, you just had to push them in and screw them down. So I'm lucky that this came with lugs. So I just used these are from the power. These are from my inverter, my Red Odo 2,000 watt inverter. Only thing I had to do, and on this eyelet, it was pretty small, so I had to go in with a drill bit and drill it out a little bit so I can get that bolt in there to get on here. And then I need to find some kind of probably go to Menards, find some kind of plastic. Oh, hold on. I forgot I had these. Let's see if I can find them in here. This is my junk drawer for my. There we go. I forgot I had these. Would that fit over that? Nope, it won't fit over that. These little ones that come with it. It won't fit over the. Let's see if I can find my negative one. It's kind of sad you got a junk drawer for your solar. Where are those caps at? It's got the positive. Oh, there's a negative. Cool. There we go. Let me see if I can find a positive one. And get down up in here. And because that's already covered on that, I want to make sure that's not correct, but correct color. But I got the cap. That cap is up over on that. That's cool. This cap won't stay on that. But I got this one here, so okay, I'm cool now. Alright. Let's put this piece of laminated something on there so that in case this gets moved, it's got some protection. Yeah, so I don't know how many people of you YouTubers out there, solar YouTubers, have literally a junk drawer for all your solar stuff. Fuses, these are the cabinets, and then I try to keep all the paperwork, all my beam connectors. I'm going to move this paperwork to somewhere else. But yeah, this is all my little packages that I've had stuff in. I don't need that. That's a little. This is that there. Get that box finished up there. That's what those screws are for. I just got to run the wire to the other charge controller and fill that in. I'll just put that there for now. So, yep, I get ready. I have to go to work today. Normally I get weekends off, but Tuesday I had a residential, 2 of them, and by the time I got down to the second one, I'm like, you know what? I had to climb on the ladder, clean out gutters, and walk the roof, clean windows, clean gutters. And by the time I got the louder and stuff and loaded, I'm like, you know what, I'm done with this. So I quit for a day, and I could have gone out and done some more stops, but what the hell, right? So I am pretty impressed so far with this. I don't know what this charges up to, 27.5, 6, something in there. And yes, it's not so. How can I say this? I'm not doing this to lower my utility bill. Hold on a second, I got cords. Got cords stressed up everywhere. Yeah, I'm not doing this to have a utility bill. Hold on a second. Can't do this one-handed. Alright. Yeah, the air's coming out here. It's kind of warm. It's not. It's kind of warm. But like I said before, they do got filters in this, both of them, one here and one on that side. You got filters. I have a cat, so I'll probably change those out once a month. I'll clean them out. So I don't do this to save electricity, okay? Because I don't. My light bill is only as average $80 a month. Okay, I don't have a whole lot. I don't run my ceiling lights very often. I have lately because I was showing. I got light there. I was showing you the system, and I have a light there that I run every once in a while. Breakfast this morning was awesome. I had a heart attack 14 months ago, and my sugar was literally 490 at that night. They said my A1C was 15.9, for those of you guys who know. And then they said I'd be a diabetic for the rest of my life. So last 14 months, was July, was a year, I've taken no insulin at all, zero insulin. And I have literally reversed my diabetes. I am no longer a diabetic. My sugar, I am around a 5.6. I have reversed diabetes, or type 2 diabetes is just an eating disorder. You're eating too many carbs, and your body just can't deal with it. And by injecting yourself with more insulin, it just causes your body to it just causes havoc. All diabetics who are on insulin are always sick. They're not healthy. So I eat what's called a carnivore diet for the most part. And for my morning breakfast, it's 4 or 5 pieces of bacon, 4 eggs, scrambled or fried. This morning was fried. I have 4 pieces of sausage, and then I have a piece of ham. And all that mess, I get my carbs from the sausage, and the sausage don't have no carbs. So this morning I had no carbs because my bacon has no carbs. This is the ham that I get. It's a ham steak, and there's any carbs in that? No carbs in that. So this morning I had no carbs for breakfast. My sugar this morning was 104. That's pretty low for me in the mornings. I know between 110 and 130 because of the Dawn phenomenon effect. But my sugar is, it's good. I mean, it's not the 490. So I pretty much, and I do have a donut here and there. I did have a piece of pizza the last couple of days, for lunch. And I have a couple of pieces of candy. But this candy has 4 or 5 carbs for one piece. The peanut butter that I eat now is this sugar-free. It's sugar-free. It's not sugar-free. It's got 4 carbs in there, but it's for 2 tablespoons. Okay, so and normal peanut butter is 8. So there's that. And I eat I'm not gonna show my refrigerator. It's nasty. I eat ham. I just walled up a piece of cheese, and this ham does have some carbs in it. 1 carb for 2 ounces. You know how many pieces that is. And so I love this pepper jack single cheese. And I believe this has no carbs in it. Let's see real quick. Yeah, 1 carb per piece. And then to snack on, or whatever, I get this big bulk of pepper jack from Kroger's. It's a 1 pound bulk. And this has no carbs in it. All right. So you never want to buy shredded cheese. Don't buy shredded cheese because shredded cheese has literally cardboard in it. It has a chemical in it that makes the cheese not lump together. And that chemical is literally cardboard, pulp. You know what I'm saying? So what I do is, if I want shredded cheese, I went down and I bought me a little shredder. It's on Amazon. The base, it's a section cut base to the table. And this slides in here. Then I got the blades and handle, and different kind of blades and handle. And you got your, you put your piece of cheese in there, and you turn it the right way. And you push it down, and I normally have it this way. And as you're pushing it down, you can turn it by handle, and then you got your different kind of cutting wheels here. I just my shredded one, and you do have a no container that comes with it. I don't think. Don't see a container up here, but you got your different cutting blades. This is for your larger, if you want a larger thread. I think that's it. And what I normally do is I have another grater. I have this grater here, and it's just this container here, and you got the different kind of handheld grating stuff. You know, you can just handheld. So I fill that up with cheese. That's how I do my cheese. So I try to live as carb free as possible. And then I do drink pop, but it is the sugar-free pop, or sometimes I get a hold of a diet pop, but sugar-free. It's sweetened with stevia. And I do make my own tea, and I do have stevia, but make sure the stevia you get has no carbs in it, okay? Make sure the stevia you get is stevia. So you say organic stevia extract powder, okay? There's times where you get stevia, like from Kroger, it is, in the ingredients, it has sugar alcohol, or it has some form of sugar in it. So be careful on what kind of what kind of stevia you get. But I'm still charging, so my loads are still being ran off of there. So let's go and see what the load is. Loads at 6%, 200 on the load, and the battery voltage. So, and I can also went in and set the settings on this so it stays on the same screen. Because normally after a certain amount of time, it would default back to the default screen, the original first screen. So I went in and changed that setting. I'm going to change the backlight setting here in a little bit. You can turn the backlight off on and on. But this book is actually I'm pretty impressed with the instruction booklet. I'm pretty impressed. The only thing I'm not impressed is how to get the system, how to get the Wi-Fi, and yeah, I don't know. The smart ESS, they wants to share your information, but with this kind of dongle, this Bluetooth dongle, it's just I don't know. I had a hell of a time. It took me a day and a half to figure this out. But I got it on my phone. It's not a live version. It's about a 15-minute update deal. That's what I can see. So before I go and get ready to go to work, there it is. It's actually being charged off of the grid, because the inverter is being powered by the grid, and it's charging. So when the voltage gets up to, I don't know what it's 27.5 or something. And so this inverter doesn't care about watt. Oh, it does, but it doesn't care about watts. It cares about the voltage. It doesn't start powering the load. I mean, it doesn't. The MPPT doesn't kick in until about 60 volts. So that's what you gotta watch. All right. Well, looks a whole lot cleaner, from what I had Sorry about that. When I had the batteries and the charger and the box. So I wish I would have known about this 2 years ago. I read about them, but what I was reading was the hybrid system, but it was selling back to the grid. I don't want to sell back to the grid because there's too many stuff involved in that. So when I saw the word hybrid, I always associated it with selling back to the grid. And then I was watching a YouTube video where the guy had, I don't know what he had. He had a SunGo. And SunGold, and he had one, but he didn't sell it back to the grid. And I'm like, what? And so I went on their website and was looking at their units, and I actually wanted one. It was $600. I want to say 500. It was like 500 for a 3,000 watt. I want to say, but when I was looking at it, it said it needed a minimum of 90 volts to operate. Okay, well no, it need a minimum of like 90 or something like that. And I don't have 90 volts coming in. I mean, technically, if you add my panels together, it should be right at 90 if everything's max. You know, we're at test conditions. But that's 71. That's up to I've brought it up to 80 before, but for the most part, it's 71. And I don't. And I need to be about 35 degrees angle. I'm at 42, so maybe the angle's off a little bit. I'm not bringing the full 400 in, but it is what it is. I'm not going to go up there and just change it for a few degrees and have to get back up there a month or two later and change it. So I had it set for 35 degrees on a flat roof. But where it's actually stationed, the roof is flat, but then the second part of it tilts downwards, just enough, so it's about a 7-degree tilt. And I didn't realize this when I got the panels on there, and I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't realize about the tilt of the roof. So the roof is tilted itself. So it goes from flat, and then it goes to a nice little slope down to the gutter. So I measure the angle, and it's 42. And so I'm not going to mess with 7 degrees. And maybe the 7 degrees is not causing me to get the full max, whatever. But back to the story. And so I wanted this from SunGold, but it was 90, and I don't have 90. It means I have to go and get some more solar panel. That's another $250. No, more about, hold on. That's about $400 I have to spend just to bring in another 400 watts. So I wasn't going to do that. And so I found this so on Amazon, typed in all-in-one, found this, and cool, the Blue Eddy kicked in at 17, 18, 19, charged up. So found this, and it's up at 60 volts, and that's where I operate, around 70, 80, so cool, that's why I got this. Then I found, I went back on the SunGold website, and just looking through their stuff, and I found actually to have a unit that operates at 40, 50 or something. And I'm, but that's what you get when you don't do research and don't read. So it's been 27 minutes long video. You guys are probably bored. I'm just keep repeating myself. So I'm out of here. Have a good day.